Hi everyone, so in this video we will be looking at simultaneous equations. So simultaneous equations are two equations, so equations where we have two unknowns. So for example x and y, and those for the two equations the values for x and y are the same, right? So we call them simultaneous equations because we can solve them together. Now we have done solving equations in previous videos, solving simple equations. So you could go back and look at those videos. So we need to know how to solve equations, and also we need to know substitution in algebra before we actually know how to do simultaneous equations. So let's just go through an example here. So say here we have an example, first example here of two simultaneous equations. So we have x plus 3x plus 4y equals 15, and then we have 3x plus 2y equals 12. So these are the two equations we have there. These are simultaneous equations because it's two equations, right? And we want to find the value of x and y. And again, the value for x and y in both equations are the same, right? Now we're going to solve, there are a couple steps that we need to follow when doing simultaneous equations. Now, there are different methods to solve equations simultaneously. I'm just showing you this one method here, called elimination, which I think it will be possibly the easier one for you to do. So let's look at this here. So we have the two equations. So step one is to label the first equation, equation 1. So that's what we did here. And then you label the second equation, equation 2. So the two equations we got, the first equation is equation 1 and the second equation is equation 2. Good, very easy step, right? And then step 2 now, ensure that you have the same number of x's in each equation. Now, if we look at our two equations, the first equation, I have 3x, and in my second equation, I have 3x as well. So therefore, in equation 1 and equation 2, we have the same number of x's, right? Good. So since once you have the same number of x's, the next step, step 3, is to subtract. We are going to subtract first equation, take away equation 2. So we're going to put a take away sign here and draw it as where you're going to actually subtract, right? So that's how we're going to do it, right? So now 3x take away 3x is what? 3x take away 3x, that is 0, right? So we don't really write any 0. You could have written the 0 here, but once you have the same number of x's and then go ahead to subtract, your x is going to cancel out, or going to be eliminated, right? So now we're really going to have the y's remaining. So you're going to have, so now we have 4y, well, it's really plus 4y, take away 2y, right? Or just to show you all something here, plus 4y take away plus 2y is equal to 15 take away 12. So again, let's go through that. 4y take away plus 2y is equal to then 15 take away 12, right? So it's the top equation, take away the second equation, right? So when we simplify this part, we're going to get plus 4y. Remember, a minus and a plus, when you have that together like that, it's a minus. So it's 4y take away 2y is equal to 15 take away 12, which is 3. So 4y take away 2y, we're going to remain with 2y equals 3. So now from here, we're going to solve and find the value of y. Now remember, 2y is the same as 2 times y. So you have 2 times y equals 3. So now y is equal to 3, opposite of multiplying by 2 will be divided by 2. So the value of y is 3 over 2, right? Or if you want, you could have put 1.5. It doesn't matter what you put. 3 over 2, 1.5, 1.5, all that is the same thing, right? Now, once we have our value for y, we can go ahead and we could find our value for x. This is step 4, which is our last step actually. So to find our x value, we substitute the y value in either equation 1 or equation 2 to find our x value. And personally, I always use the first equation. I don't stress myself out. Okay, let's just substitute back into equation 1. But you can substitute it into equation 1 or equation 2. Doesn't matter. Same value you're going to get, right? So the equation 1 was this. 3x plus 4y equals 15. I just remember that I just expanded in the second line here. 3x is the same as 3 times x plus 4y, which is 4 times y, equals 15. Wherever we see y, we're going to substitute that 3 over 2, right? So we're going to get 3 times x plus 4 times y. So remember, y is 3 on 2. So this is why I substituted the 3 on 2 here, right? And that is equal to 15. And now just let's simplify. So 3 by x plus 6. We get that 6 by 4 by 3 on 2, right? If you could use a calculator, you could work it out manually. 2 into 2, 1. This is like 4 over 1, right? And then 2 into 4 is 2. And then 2 times 3 is 6. 6 over 1, or just 6, right? So we get 3 times x plus 6 equals 15. So remember solving equations. So now we want to carry across the number that's by itself first, that plus 6. So we're going to get 3 times x is equal to 15. Opposite of adding 6 is take away 6. So 3 times x is equal to 15, take away 6. So 3 times x is 6. And now we have 3 times x is equal to 9. Opposite of multiplying by 3 will be division by 3. So 9 divided by 3, our x value is 3. Now, our x value is, x is equal to 3. And our y value is 3 on 2. Now, we could check over our answers. And let me show you how you could check over and see if your answer is really correct, right? So now, I will come down here and let's copy and paste our two equations and let's see if our answers are correct, right? So let's take back our equation 1 and our equation 2. And let's come down here to check and see if our answers are correct. Now, to check and see if your answers are correct, we are going to take each equation. So this is my equation 1, and then we have equation 2 down there, right? Now, substitute x equals 3 and y equals 3 on 2, right? Into the equation. So remember, 3x is 3 times x, right? So that's 3 times 3 plus 4y, which is 4 times y. Remember, y is 3 on 2. And let's work it out and show we get 50, right? So 3 by 3 is 9 plus, remember we worked out this 4 by 3 on 2. 2 to 1, 2 into 4, 2, that's 6. So 9 plus 6 will give us 15. So it works out here, right? Now let's check it for the other one. Equation 2. So 3 times x, so that's 3 times 3 plus 2 times y, so that's 2 times 3 on 2. And that's supposed to give us 12, right? So 3 by 3 is 9 plus, let's work out this piece here. 2 by 3 on 2. 2 into 2, 1, 2 into 2, 1. So 1 by 3 is 3. So 9 plus 3 is 12. Now again, you could use your calculator and check over this, right? But yes, this is how we have to do it, right? Over to see if your answers are correct. Now let's do another one, just to ensure that we understand the procedure. All right, so now we're looking at these two equations here that we want to solve simultaneously. We have equation 1 here and equation 2 here. So label equations 1 and 2, which I did already here, right? Equation 1, equation 2. So we label our equations. And the second step now, ensure that both equations have the same number of x's. Now, in equation 1, I have 2x. And equation 2, I have 3x. So therefore, we don't have the same number of same number of x's in each equation, right? But now, in order to get the same number of x's, what we need to do is to find the LCM of the two numbers that are before the x value, the x in each equation. So, the LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. We know how to find LCM, right? So now, if the LCM of 2 and 3 is 6, we're going to multiply each equation now to ensure that we get 6x in each equation. So for equation 1, I will write back equation 1 here, right? So equation 1 is 2x plus y equals 7. So 2x plus y equals 7. In order to get 6x here, I'll need to multiply this by 3 by that, right? But whatever, we must multiply that 3 by everything in the equation, right? So we're going to say 3 by 2x, and then 3 by y, and then 3 by 7. So we're going to get 6x plus 3y equals 21. This is my new equation I'm going to use here, right? And now, in my second equation is 3x plus 2y is equal to 11, right? Now, in order to get 6x here, I need to multiply this by 2. So it will be 2 by the 3x, which will give me the 6x here. Then you have to multiply everything by 2. So 2 by 2y, and then 2 by 11. And that's how I get 6x plus 4y equals 22. So these two equations are the two new equations I'm going to use, because we need to use the two equations that have the same number of x's, right? Right. So now we can go ahead and subtract. So remember, these are my two new equations that we are using, and we are going to subtract. So let's draw our line for subtraction here, and we are going to subtract. Let's put the subtraction sign here. Now remember, as I said, once you have the same number of x's, your x is going to disappear, going to eliminate, right? Because 6x take away 6x is 0, is nothing, right? So now for the other part now, so plus 3y take away, so plus 3y take away plus 4y, and then 21 take away 22, 21 take away 22, right? So let's come down a little bit. Now remember, a minus and a plus is a minus, so we're going to get plus 3y take away 4y. 21 take away 22 is minus 1. Remember, we did those. And then 3y take away 4y. Remember, 3 is smaller than 4. Right? So that's going to be negative 1y is equal to negative 1. And then negative 1y is same as negative 1 times y. And that's equal to negative 1. And then y is equal to negative 1 divided by this negative 1. So y is really positive 1, right? Or just 1, because a negative divided by a negative is a positive, right? So you see here, when I wrote it out here, I left out this part that I did here, the minus and the plus and all those things. I just jumped ahead on a step, right? Eventually you're going to reach there, but you can go ahead and write stuff like that. Write stuff it just as you see it. Plus 3 plus 3y take away plus 4y. Write it out if you need to see it like that, right? And then step 4 now. We know that if our value for y is 1, so now substitute the value of y into equation 1 or 2, right? And I'm using equation 1 again. So now equation 1, so 2x plus y equals 7. So wherever remember 2x is same as 2 times x, and plus y, remember y is now 1, so plus 1 is equal to 7. And now just solve it, right? So the opposite of adding 1 would be take away 1. So we get 2 times x is equal to 7, take away 1. So 2 times x equals 6. So now x is equal to 6 divided by 2, because remember the opposite of multiplying by 2 will be division by 2. So x is 3. So therefore my value for x is 1. Sorry, my value for x is 3 and my value for y is 1. So now 2x plus y equals 7 is my, that was my first equation, right? We could just check quickly here. So 2 times x plus y equals 7. So the value of x is 3. So 2 times 3, that's 6 plus 1, which is 7. It works out for that. And then the other equation 2 was 3x plus 2y equals 11. 3x plus 2y equals 11. So that's 3 times x, which is 3 times 3, plus 2 times y. So 2 times 1 equals 11. And that is 9 plus 2, which is 11, and it works out, right? So this is just here, this is just to check, right? So go over it. We're going to do another video doing questions like this, so have no fear. It's all about practice. I know it's long, but check the next video out.